There are many different ways to get a contact record or company record created in HubSpot. Some easier than others. You can use the HubSpot app on your phone. You can import a list of HubSpot contacts by giving a list to your admin. But you can also manually add contacts one by one. And to do this in the easiest and most direct way is to go to the left-hand sidebar and under CRM, click on contacts. And then once we are on contacts here, we see our contact list view, our tabs up top, and then we can also see this orange button in the top right that says create contact. So we can go ahead and click that. Once we are here, it populates a form asking us several questions, and the questions on this form may differ depending on how your HubSpot instance is set up. This form can be customized to not only add or remove certain fields, but also make them required. But to start off, and best practices in any CRM is that every contact should have an email address associated with them, as that is the unique identifier in HubSpot. So if we start by adding an email, it will open up the rest of the fields in the form. We can finish creating the contact. Life cycle stage, as well as lead status. And then once we add all the information into that form, all we have to do is hit create. Or if you're adding multiple, you can hit create and add another. But for this, we want to hit create. And once you create that contact, it'll take you directly to that contact record in HubSpot that you just created. One thing to note when manually creating contacts, and if you watched our video previously on the contact record layout, every contact in our space should be associated with a company record in HubSpot. So after we create our contact, we have to go up here to the right and make sure it's associated to a company record. So if we do not see it automatically associated to a company record, we have to go up here into the association card and click add. And that's going to open up our panel to not only add a company, but associate that company to the contact record we just created so that all the contacts for that company and all the information for those contacts and engagement for those contacts fall under and roll up under that company record in HubSpot. So when we're adding an existing company on the contact, we get two options. And the first is to add an existing company record. And best practices is to always search before creating a new company so that you prevent duplicates from being created in your CRM. So if we go to add existing, we can start typing in IBM group, and we can see that it's already created. So we can click that, and then if we hit next, it'll take us to our next step. If the company we're searching for is not already in our CRM, of course we already have Walmart and Kroger. If the company is not in our CRM and we get no search results for that, we can go over to the Create New tab, which will look very similar to the creating a contact form, but it'll ask questions specific to that company that you want created in HubSpot. So similar to the email address for the contact, company domain is the unique identifier for the company records. So we want to add the company domain, and that will allow us to add the rest of the information for that company. You can complete the rest of the fields on that Create a Company page, and then hit Create. And then that will take you to the newly created company record that you just created on that contact record. And you can see that that contact record over on the right is associated to that company record in HubSpot. If the company had already been existing and had additional contacts associated to it already, we would see all of those contacts over here on the right-hand side. And if we click on our contact over on the right-hand side in the association card, That'll take us back to the contact record, and we can now see that that company record is created and associated to that contact record. So that is the most direct way to create contacts in HubSpot. If you are creating hundreds of contacts manually one by one, by adding them from a spreadsheet or business cards, strongly recommend sending that list to an admin for import and or leveraging the business card scanner in the app to save a ton of time. The other way we can directly create companies in HubSpot is if we go to our companies object. And then similar to contacts, in the top right-hand corner, you have that create a company button that you can create a company. A secondary way to create a contact, similar to how we went through how to create a company on the contact record or a company on the contact record, you can go to the company record and go down to contacts and hit add new contact. And that will allow you to add an existing contact to the company record or create a new contact record and associate it immediately to that company record you're viewing.